What up? It's your boy Wall Street, and I'm back, ready to talk to all of you fine people today. And today, I want to send a message that everything is temporary. And this is a great notion to operate with because I think it helps both when your life is going very well and when your life is not going so well. So let's start with when your life is not going so well. When your life is not going so well, the notion that everything is temporary, which it is, helps a lot because you're not sitting there saying, oh, this is going to be, the rest of my life. My life sucks. I don't like what's going on because, this, that, whatever. But you have to realize that it's not going to last forever. Things change. Your circumstances will change. The people around you may change. Your environment may change. There's so many different things that could change. And more likely than not, one or all of those things will change, right? So let me give you an example, right? I had this horrible person that I had to work with at work. Horrible. For 2 years, I had to put up with just BS and, getting thrown under the bus, being lied about, being withheld from getting promoted, being withheld from getting raises, like all this types of stuff, right? Because this one person decided that they didn't like me and they were going to do everything to sabotage what I was doing at work. This lasted for 2 years. And yesterday, they quit. So that's a huge relief off of my back because now I can go to work and be like, okay, I really don't care what's going on because I've already been through this craziness with this one person. They're no longer there. So I got nothing to worry about. I'm, on a good page with everyone else I work with. It was just this one person that decided that, they didn't want to mess with anything I was doing and they just didn't like me and they wanted to make sure I suffered, right? But that's now over, right? So, and I understand 2 years is a long time to deal with something like that every single day. But, another example is you could be in high school, you could be in college, right? And you don't have a lot of friends. You don't really have a lot of things to do outside of school because you don't have a lot of friends. You feel like you're not valued. You feel like you're not popular. You feel like people don't like you. And you're not having a good time, right? High school only lasts 4 years, right? College only lasts 4 years for most people. And after that, your whole situation can change, right? You go out of college and you're going to get a job somewhere. Probably you're going to go do something else. You might live in a different state, a different city. So that temporary condition of you not liking your environment, being in college, being around certain people, doing certain things, that will change, right? And the same thing is, can happen in life, right? When you have a job, you have the ability to say, I don't want to be here. I want to go somewhere else. I want to do something else. So, again, everything is temporary. But I started off by saying that this can, be useful to think about when your life is not going so well and when your life is going very well. So when your life is going very well, it's important to understand this notion because, if you're used to making $500 a week, right? You make your $500 a week. You live off of that. That's your budget, all that. And one day, you go to the casino or you hit on one of your parlays and you make $1 million, right? That's a temporary condition. The odds are typically not in your favor when something like that happens. So understanding that that's temporary and that money is temporary will allow you to view it in a different way where you're like, okay, I need to make sure that I stretch this money out, right? I need to use this money in a correct way. I shouldn't just go blow it on a, mansion or a car or jewelry or any of that stuff. I should use this money and stretch it out so I can have financial freedom for a longer period of time. I can have financial freedom for the rest of my life, maybe if I do it right. So it's very important to just understand that this notion of everything is temporary, it allows you to kind of move better with the natural ebbs and flows of life and handle those challenges and, positive things better, right? It's a skill to be able to, travel through these types of experiences and navigate them properly. A lot of people don't. So if you can do that, you're going to be in a great position, and you're just going to constantly have a better, more positive attitude about a lot of things, and you're going to make smarter decisions. You're not going to act emotionally. You're going to do things with logic and reasoning behind them, and that's really, the best way to really move through life. Letting your emotions control you and decide what you think because you want to be emotional about something is typically not going to be the best answer to anything. That's how people get into bad situations most of the time. So if you can understand that everything in life is temporary, both good and bad, you need to just move forward with that positive notion. It'll help you manage stress. It'll help you manage those difficult situations. And it'll remind you that if you're going through a tough time, it will eventually pass, right? And when you have a stroke of luck or your hard work finally pays off, it allows you to savor that payoff and make it stretch and understand, I don't want this to be just a temporary blip in time. I want this to last. So let me stretch out the fruits of my labors so that I can have these in my favor for a longer period of time, right? So if you can understand that, you're going to put yourself in a much better position in life. You're going to be a happier person. You're going to be much more successful emotionally, mentally, and professionally. So that's all I got today, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Remember, everything is temporary. If you're going through a tough time, you're going to get through it. I believe in you. I love you. And that's it. I'm going to catch you later, man. Stay up, stay blessed, stay humble, stay safe, handle business, stand on business. Peace.